All right, hello, welcome. Sunday afternoon stream. It's been a couple of weeks since the last one. Last weekend was my birthday, so I didn't have much time to work on the game in between my day job and now. But we're gonna do a couple of hours of stream today. And carry on basically where we left off last time, where we were working on the center area of the game. So if you don't know, I'm working on a game called Cabs of Chaos. Let me jump into the game stream, and we're just doing a bunch of level design until the level's done. And the past few streams have just been us hanging out and doing levels, so it's been really cool to just hang out with you guys and, you know, keep me entertained and just chat while we do some of this stuff. It saves me sitting on the sofa and vegetating. So yeah, I haven't managed to do that much. The one thing I did do though, if you are an avid viewer of these live shows, is I have fixed the bug with the road. I don't know if you remember, but if I was selecting any of these sort of intense road pieces, the editor would just come to a screeching halt in this situation, and like I would not be able to have this selected and move the camera. So I found some poorly optimized code in my editor drawers for all of these little gizmos and stuff, and I have fixed that, so now it is not screaming to a complete halt when I have, you know, a road with like a few splines selected. So huzzah. But yeah, if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. This is a weird time to do the stream. I don't think I've done one on a Sunday yet, but yeah, it's daylight, it's nice. I wanted to do this while it's nice outside. I've got a nice window here, so but yeah, if it's okay with you guys, I think I'm just going to jump into it. Feel free to ask any questions, or, you know, just hang out with me. And I think we'll just dive in. So today what I want to do, I've put this little placeholder building in, which is going to be the sort of city town hall. I think I want to build that because, or at least like the start of it, maybe pieces, because I realize it's quite an important component to this center area. And while I could carry on, I've done a little bit of work here from where I left off last time. I've just sort of added a boundary to make that look a little bit better, and I want to put a jump in here at some point, but I realize I need this in place so that I can design this area a little bit better, because I want to put a little bit of plaza, like greenery and things like that around, but it's gonna be trickier to do that without the main sort of hook piece. I don't know what you call it, the main kind of hero of this section, which is the town hall area. So I am just gonna quickly grab a reference, because it is based off of another building. So let's anyway, how are you? While I set this up, let me know in the chat, how are you doing? Where are you watching from? What is new? What are you up to right now? Are you just sitting at home watching this? Okay, I'm trying to open Chrome, but my computer is deciding it doesn't want to open Chrome. So that's not good. Why is that happening? I wonder. There we go. Okay, something was going on there. Right. So I want to Sorry, I'm really just trying to deal with Chrome at the moment. I'll switch over to my screen. Something strange has happened. Great way to start. Just straight into bugs. It is misbehaving horribly right now, which I'm not a fan of. I don't know why. Huh. Okay, this will be fine. Whatever. I can deal with this. Alright, okay. Here we go. So, our reference point. What we want to do. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm referencing the Vancouver Art Gallery for this specific building. This area generally is what I was planning the oh great, there's a look at that. Love when Street View just has a car in front of it. I don't, you know what, I think the map view, the like 3D map view might be better than Street View for referencing this. But yeah, I want to kind of create something like this. I think you can see it is a similar shape and style. Now some of the buildings, some of the hero buildings are a mix of Blender. So let's, we should probably get Blender open and open up our heroes. And we will see how far we get today. I'm hoping I can. Some of these sometimes are really quick, and then others are quite slow. But we'll start with the pieces. The main idea here is that the 4 vehicles that you play as are going to start in this section. So we really want to get that. Get that bit right. But I also I really want to get across this brick texture, and I don't know if I have a good like texture for this. Definitely don't have the roof for it, and these columns and stuff are going to be annoying. So I don't know how much of it I'm going to replicate. It's sort of taking some creative license around the design of this. Yeah, getting around here is not fun in Street View. I wonder if I can just go into 3D mode. You used to be able to hold control and like zoom out, and it would just like go into the 3D mode, but I guess they've removed that feature now, which, I don't know, it was kind of useful. And you can't do that anymore. So instead, how do I get back into the 3D? There we go. Okay, so you hit escape. And then layers? Right, there we go. Now if I hit, how do I rotate the camera? Was it Alt? No. More. Maybe I have to turn it on. Globe view. Is it that it? Is it globe view? That's globe view. There we go. I guess I just have it turned on. Okay. Right. That's what I want. This is helpful. This is the most helpful version of this because you can kind of like, it doesn't matter, it's a bit smushed. This is generally just the shape of it is useful. There you go. Yeah, and then you can zoom into the street view. Okay, I wasn't going insane. It is a feature. Okay. So I'm not too worried about the intricacies of this building. We just want to get like most of it. So I'll open the heroes building, the hero buildings, and we will make a new collection. We'll just call this town hall, and then we'll make a cube. This is going to be putting my very bad art skills on display today. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is like make the object and put it into the game so that we can like get the rough shape of this. And I think it's probably going to be best to build this with lots of different components, because there's like 3 kind of distinct. It's a beautiful building. There's a lot going on, and I'm kind of only replicating pieces of it. I'm kind of not doing this chunk, but we might in some way. I mean, the front that we actually do might look more like this one. But you know, it's just got to have the Greek-looking kind of columns and stuff for this to work out. Okay. There are so many tall buildings just like completely blocking the view. I should spend more time, considering I'm doing a game about city blocks. I should spend more time just looking at the skyline to get a better understanding of the architecture of modern cities. Like, that is an interesting shaped building. Architecture's crazy. People do weird things. No, there's actually a parking lot on that roof. I hadn't thought about doing that on one of these buildings, but maybe I should. This one's crazy. The Fairmont, crazy large. That's a huge building. All right, in like a second or third pass of the game, we can do that, I think. But right, so I think it's sort of 3 components, right? It's like this module, and then like this module and this module. I think like that's probably the best place to start, and then each kind of story, maybe. I don't know. But I think the best thing to do is just start fleshing it out. Something is better than nothing. Let's just pretend like that matters, and we will feel better about ourselves. That's probably... a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's probably enough. Alright. And then let's scale up. Oops. Try that, maybe? How does that feel? Let's see what that looks like. Let's apply this. No, scale and rotation, and then let's export whatever this is. Town Hall. Let's just select the collection, and where is my export button? There it is. Batch export. Okay, export that, and we then should have Town Hall. We got it. No. Did it go to the wrong place? Is it just cube 001? It did just come in as cube 001. God damn it. Cube 00, okay. Alright. Town Hall underscore main, I guess, and then we'll export I just kind of want to make sure it's the right kind of size first. There we go. Okay. How are we? Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm getting better at that. Okay. Yeah. That kind of works. So we can just stretch that out. I don't know, like double the size that it currently is. On this axis. And that's kind of the shape it needs to be. Stay with the scale. And export it again. And that, God, I hate Blender. Okay, fine. It's just slightly misaligned. We have to turn it around. That's not a big deal. That's not the end of the world. Alright. So yeah, there's like another little piece on top. I think we can just make that the piece, and then make this little facade, and get like the general shape down in Blender first, I guess, and then go from there. We do it with block pieces, and then this is. Wait, I don't want to spend forever doing this sort of stuff, you know. But I think we just got to kind of do it. Okay. If we get the general shape of the other two sides as well, that will kind of get us where we need to go. So I think we duplicate these. Not as tall. And I mean, honestly, it should just be a mirror of that. I could have done duplicate link, that would have also worked. Like that height. I mean, it's not that much smaller, is it? Actually. Can we stand in the spot? We can. Somebody. Hello, buddy. Yeah, it's not that much of a height difference. That's really funny. Wait, is there Street View inside the gallery? Oh, there is. Oh, that's cool. That's funny. You can like virtually walk through Vancouver Art Gallery. Alright, scan these QR codes, people. What happens? This is cool. This was not in here the last time I was in here. This was an Emily Carr exhibition, I think. Alright, I need to stop getting distracted. Back outside. So then we want to replicate that little corner. Okay, so we want to be a little, not as probably aggressively low as that is probably. There. something like that, I think. Okay. Now if I select this and export it, do we get like an actual town hall now? It's just the two pieces separately? I don't think I like that. It is the two pieces separately. And that one doesn't even come with a duplicate thing. Okay, how do I get this to do what I want it to do? I thought I could just select a collection. And maybe I can make it a... just put it inside itself. Well, we do an empty. I wonder if I can make an empty and then just export the empty. Empty, plain axis. I put those in there and then export that. That doesn't even do what I want. Wait, empty. Well, hold on. Okay. Maybe this doesn't work with my... Oh, collections. There we go. That's probably what I want to do. Does that work? Town hall main, town hall, town hall. There we go. Okay. Is that what I wanted? Or is that the one that was the empty? I think that's the one that was the empty. Let's find out. Yeah, that was the one that was... Okay, so the empty is the way to go. Okay. It's been a while since I've had to do this. Oh, it's back to objects by parents again. That might be why. Collections. Export. Town hall. There we go. Maybe? No. Oh, it centered them. Ah, okay. Yeah, it needs to be the empty then. That makes sense. I think it resets the center because... when I'm trying to batch export props and stuff. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I kind of want to keep that behavior. Okay. Batch export. And it has to objects by parents. Huh? Yeah. Cool. Okay. That's what we want. And then make this 90 degrees. And pop that there. It needs to be wider. Okay. We kind of want to be wider on both edges. Okay. Oop. probably that. That is now probably the scale we want it to be. Oh! Even more? Wow, alright. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay. What we'll do, just so I don't have to do this later, because I will forget, I will bind the master material to this. As Blender spends time figuring out how to handle that, importing all the textures, etc. There we go. Okay. And the same with this guy too. And we will just stick to that mode for now. Come back in a minute. We'll also add the props outline black. We may texture this though, actually, so this might be jumping ahead a little bit. But I would like it to look better. And we can import the correct materials then. Yeah. Okay. Steps. Maybe the maybe the steps. Just part of this is like deciding how much to do, like, right? Because the resolution of this game is not high enough that a bunch of like marble details and stuff are actually gonna look that good. It kind of just being a white building with some minor facade stuff is probably fine. And so that's going to be quite a bit of this process. So I think something like, you know, doing something like that, and then maybe just grabbing this edge and like extruding it. Oh, well, okay, grabbing. I'll do the opposite. Bring these. Extrude these out. By a tiny piece. I think just stuff like that probably makes a bigger difference. Maybe we just do the same here. And like extrude this piece out. It can vary a little bit, right? Like, we don't need to make a one-for-one copy. And then how do I want to do this? Whoops, I keep pressing the wrong button on my mouse. I'm used to using my desktop. My laptop even. You know, we could probably just emulate the sticky out nature of some of this stuff. I don't think I'm gonna get this right the first try. I'm almost certainly not. Okay, what we could do is grab, maybe make an edge and then grab a loop. And then can we do I think that's the only thing I don't like that much about Blender. There's not really an easy way to create like that extruded bevel. And I wish, because, yeah, then no, see, that's not what I want. When you're having these sort of situations, it'd be really cool if you could just sort of expand outwards. Extrude kind of does that in some instances, but not to the degree which I want it to. If anybody watching knows of a way to do it, by all means, please inform me. Oh, it's blank now. There you go. Halo for a minute there. Okay. Help. Yeah, you still end up with this, you see, right? And that is not what I want. You know, I've never used the polybuild tool in Blender. You could... I've never ever found a good technique to not make this an absolute pain in the ass. You know, like, I wonder if it's partly also a case of going the other way around, like it's easier to scale inwards maybe than it is to maintain scale out. Okay. But it doesn't do what I want it to do. It kind of sucks that, like, alright. We will just deal and do it the hard way. I think it just bothers me because it's like probably not. It just feels like something you could do mathematically, probably, right? You'd be like, hey, have this like edge around you. But maybe it's actually just really freaking complicated to do. Why is that? Oh, it's gone all the way around. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, like creating a lip. That's I guess the term, right? Like an architectural lip in Blender is really difficult. And it shouldn't be. I don't think it should be. Maybe there's an add-on for it or something, like a secret little add-on that someone's made. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's a solved problem, and I'm just really missing something. But it also feels like you kind of just have to do what I just did, which is not the end of the world, but a little bit inaccurate, you know? Yeah, like this side. It probably would be a version of the solidify modifier, you know? Like, I guess you could duplicate it, put it underneath, use solidify to, like, inflate it, and then merge it back again, but, like, I don't know if that's more efficient, you know? But anyway, I guess that worked. Yeah, we now have a little lip, but I want that to be lower. Where are you? There. Probably like a story. So there's like three. We want this to be like 3 stories, right? So like up here. So what we should do actually is get it up here and then go down by minus. That's 10. 6 minus 7 minus 10 minus 11 minus 12 minus 13. Okay, this is like minus 14 and a half, which would be, it's like 14 and a half meters. So it's 50. We could just do 5. So we do minus 10. That's minus 10.5. No. Minus 9.5. That's kind of two-story, like a story. Do we want, is there gonna be any flare on the edges? A little bit, maybe? Yeah, okay. Cool, fine. How does that look? Better. Alright. Yeah, and then that will go up, and then that will go to the front of the, excuse me, main one. And this will be about the same height as that lip. Okay. Now, I think this will cut off here when I do this. So then... I wonder if it would just be better to build this from modules. Like, kind of how I already am doing. But with, like, a little bit more snap. Like, I design the snapping a little bit more. And then merge them that way. Like little facade pieces. The only reason I think that is because I want the windows and stuff. And I think it'll be hard. I think it'll be hard to do this. Right, so, okay. This is kind of one of the things that has been challenging about this project, right? Is like, there's actually not that much, and this is one of the things that I want to talk about in a video. There's not that much information out there on how to build buildings for like levels. Maybe because it's so boring or like so obvious that it's just not worth talking about, but it feels like there's 100 different ways to do it, and they all have downsides. And so obviously me figuring out is like, well, yeah, obviously there's modular pieces, but it's the bit of learning that I think is challenging is knowing when to bespokely make something versus the alternative, right? Like, I can see an argument for using the tools that I've already built and designing some modules. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a case of like snapping different groups of these objects together into a bigger building, you know? And doing that in Blender though, so there's a little bit more control for merging things, because I want it to be one whole building. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we try that. Because specifically like complex buildings with all these little pieces and stuff. Like thinking about it now, if I start going in here and, you know, like splitting these up and trying to like make windows and stuff, I'm just gonna be repeating myself a whole bunch. Whereas like if I just make one of those with a, which was the whole point of my, you know, modular buildings, It's like they're kind of just repeating themselves. Although the tool I have gives me less ability to have finesse. But maybe we start there. And maybe we design it in Blender. Let's maybe explore that. This episode is chaotic because art design is equally chaotic. So and then the corner, yeah, I think snappable pieces. Ian Hubert has a funny way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, he does the projection mapping stuff, which like works perfectly for filmmaking, and I think is genius. Like, you just trace, usually just tracing around an image, right? I think that's a really clever way of doing it. Again, there's still little pieces where he's doing the same work again and again. But it's very fast. It's a very kit bash way of doing it. And I think that's partly what I'm trying to do here, is build a kit bash way of approaching it. And yeah, I'm thinking about nodes. I don't want to go over too much of my work that I've already done. Like, I'm toying around with, do I just use the tool here? There's a few of these a few of the hero buildings that I've built are like a mix of both. I mean, this one specifically is a module shell thing that I built, and then like it's just my so it's just a shell that I kind of built, and I think that made sense for what I needed. It's like, this is a weird shape, and then I just used my tooling and some pillars, and maybe this sort of hybrid approach is actually the way to go here. I've kind of done that with most of them. I think this one is the only one that I haven't done that with. This mall one is just using my building tools, and then different like decal and objects to sort of stretch it out a bit. Same with this one, like I've just put different objects on top of it. Maybe that's what we do, you know? I think we might just need to copy that approach. Because I was thinking it's so complicated of a building that I'd need to just do it in Blender, but I think doing it with small pieces is going to be the fastest thing to do here. Well, not fastest, but like least insane thing. Like the stairs and stuff would like make sense to be a piece from Blender, right? So yeah, I want those corners to work. I think that's the biggest piece. But I think it might be a case of merging, just snapping shells together into a final object. So why don't we start with the easy bit, right? And I think start simple and kind of move down from there. Is this on top of the, okay. It's funny, the mall was kind of inspired a little bit off of this Nordstrom building. We could do one of these edges and then spread them out and just modularly put this whole thing together. So I want some of that complexity because that's part of what's interesting about the building, right? Is that a ship? There is a ship on top of the building. Oh, never change, Vancouver Art Gallery. Never change. Yeah, okay. Let's try this approach. So we need sort of this height. Okay. Drawing board. let's go back to it. Oh, was that in the building? Oops. Okay. Make a brand new object. Okay. How long did it take to make? Months, but of on and off, a lot of on and off work, basically. I have been spending a lot of time. I mean, I knew this was going to happen. Like the map, getting the map to work is always going to be the longest piece, because, you know, once you start putting real art in, art just always takes the longest. So, okay, that's that. Let's start there. Let's just go to town with building a wall and see. I don't know, kind of sticks out a little bit. Oops. Wait, hold on. Is that not working anymore? Why isn't that working anymore? Oh. I had the wrong thing selected. That would be why. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want it to be this height and then build a few edges off of it. Okay, I'm actually going to move this to the other screen so I can reference it while I'm working. Edge in there. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. I think this is just gonna... This will yield better results anyway, because then I'll just have a new piece of an object that I can use. And we can just do all the additional details and stuff. These guys in line. It's probably fine. And then stick this guy out. I think the trick with these ones is to extend them out further than they need to go. And then when they are on the end, they'll just kind of work. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's probably too much detail. Okay, so that's one without a window. And then th_wall one window. Seems about right. I think we need to make this slightly bigger. Okay. Let's just bring that in. Bring this in slightly. No, I think I actually want to make these a little bit bigger. Feels like there's quite a lot of space. So just get these in position. Yeah, they need about that much extra height, I think. That's better. Slightly bigger windows on the bottom as well. And then these buildings always have the like piece that sticks out. And so actually the easiest way to do that is to smush the base. Oops. Like that. And then make this bit extrude. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. I think this is the way we do this. I think this is gonna work. It's a little bit more heavy-handed, I get. Well, I don't know. But ultimately, I think it'll yield a better result. And I think that's good and important. So then we can do that. And then I think we want to subdivide. Actually, do we just do this? And then I want to bevel these edges. Oh no, I should have beveled all of the edges. That's better. Oh, actually, no, they're not really like that, are they? Well, they're a little bit... No, they're a little bit straighter than that. I think that's too... I think it's just a singular kind of angle. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. Okay, and then we can subdivide that. Put that there. Subdivide that. Pop that over here. Put another line in here. Actually, between these. Do we just do that? Does that work? No, that's not what we want. We could cheat. We could just cheat. Do is delete that face, I think, and delete these faces. And delete those verts. And actually, can I do this? Is that it? Is that what I want to do? Probably. I want to do that. This up like that, and then connect this up like that. Yeah, that's what we want. Because then these can align like that, and then it kind of just blends into itself. But we still get our edge. There we go, okay. And then... put those there. Connect those guys up. Just do the same thing. There we go. We got there. I think these are too wide, but that's what we were going for. So let's now just make this edge better. All right. And then I think this is just a case of making similar, but maybe with more finesse on the like upper piece. Like that. Okay. A little bit more flat on this one, I think. Let's get that sticking out a tiny bit more on the top. Okay, it's gonna be ugly, but I'm gonna do it because I'm lazy, and I'm sure it'll be fine. So what I want is like this piece. I'm gonna try and emulate that a little bit. So we're just gonna kind of grab this edge and pull it down, because why not? So let's wait, can I? No, yeah, I don't want to loop cut the whole thing. So we'll do that. Do that. And we'll grab these guys and just hit extrude. And then we will pull these edges in so they cut through. I guess bevel these? Yeah. And then pull this up. And then just delete the faces on the inside. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I think I'll get away with that. There probably needs to be more space between these two. Maybe this can go up a little bit. I mean, realistically, this is like the next story, and then the other module will be underneath it, which is kind of the more stoneworky piece. I think it's gonna be like this piece. One of the cool things to do would be to make two different sort of window variations of that building type. And then, yeah, the one that's like... So I think it's just a case of like a few different variations of the same structure type. We can always do like corner facade pieces as little intricacies, I think, after the fact. But yeah, I think this whole thing is gonna have to be like modularly built. So probably we do some UV mapping stuff. Do I want to just texture this? I kind of do want to make this all right. Additional research time. Let's take a look at like cartoon stone texture. Yeah, alright. I think that's what we want to do on that, right? Like, make some... I haven't really built a texture for this in the game yet. But I know I want to. So do we just go to town making a stone texture right now? Or do we just steal one for the time being? Like a sort of rock granite situation. One, I think. I do eventually want something like this in the game, though. This is something I haven't really got yet. Everything is kind of blank colors, which I think is important. But the main texture I have is this brick one, but it's kind of the only one I'm using. So I think I need to start getting a bit more variety, especially as we move across the map. I think that's the next big thing here. Can I get creative? Because, like, I have rocks that I've made. Do you think... Oh, maybe we could... No, this wouldn't work, would it? Like, do I just make a texture from a bunch of rock? Like, do I just orthographically create and export a sort of stone texture? Because that would achieve something very similar. No. That would be an interesting hack to do, right? I think it'd be quite a funny hack, but I don't think we want to go that insane yet. Okay, I'm gonna do a very quick and dirty stone texture then in Photoshop. I think. See if I can replicate some sort of stone brickwork a little bit more. Which is closer to this kind of... So it seems like it's just... Yeah, it's just not non-uniform kind of shapes there. There's a part of it that would like really easy to do in I think we could just do like a few and then copy and paste. I think that's. I don't think this has to be like extremely robust. We'll do it in a gray scaly kind of style because then I can. But I wonder if I can just get like a pen and kind of make some brick. This is either gonna work or it's gonna look horrible. Shape. There we go. Let's try that again. So let's just for now, let's just. Okay. First things first, we'll just make sure we can. I think if you do gradient overlay and then you do like a block gradient. So I think if you make a radial, and then you do we do like that, and then so make smoothness 0. I think that would do it, and then like, in fact it was bright first, right? We kind of want to go the other way. We'll invert it in a moment. I'll worry about this in a minute. Yeah, I understand what it's trying to do. I could do 2 inner shadows. That would probably work. No distance, no choke. Oh, no noise actually. Turn off the noise. We do like that. Should turn up the choke. Yeah. One that way. Don't use global light. Do another one. That kind of works. We'll do. Because I think if we just keep. Out of interest, if I do that and I merge these two, what happens? Oh. Does it just get rid of the effects and not how I merge them? Yeah, I merge them like that. There we go. Okay. So we could do something like that. Curve them up a little bit. I think this can work for like a rock texture. We can make this work. Yeah, that's alright. That looks like a little cartoony rock. We'll worry about the brick in a minute. I think I just want to try the rocks for the moment. The Yeah, the key was this. This has to be a darker color, doesn't it? I think for this to look correct, this almost has to be black. Because it's the bond between the rocks. Okay. Making it seamless is going to be the next challenge, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Oh, there we go. Does the freeform pen do what I want? That's fun. Curvature pen tool, that's the one. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's actually what we wanted. That's probably enough shapes. You know what? I should look at the reference again. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of just making them fit into the edges of each other wherever possible. One way to do it is actually just to layer them and have them overlay each other. That could also work, actually. So we do this and then like duplicate it over the top and have a slightly darker color. So, and I think, you know, some of these are a little bit too big. But the key part is like making the gaps smaller. So really trying to just minimize the amount of space between them. Oh, that's fun. That's going to be useful later. That's going to be really useful later. I hadn't thought that it would do that, but of course it would do that. Oh, I like that. Like a little sharp one. Yeah. So really, it's just going to be do this, fill the gaps, repeat. Hackerman Sam says, I'm a professional game dev too. How do you have the energy and fortitude to work on your outside of work projects? Do I just not have that drive in me? Is there some secret to staying consistent? Good question. It comes in waves, honestly. It depends on the day of the week most of the time for me. And often it depends on if there's a video game out that I really want to play, and just kind of seeing how I feel. I think the good thing about this project specifically is it's more especially right now, like a lot of it is just sit and do art, so I can kind of just have a podcast on or like watch a YouTube video or something, or stream, and you know, it's a little bit more digestible. I spoke about that in my first video announcing the game, was that the game I was making at the time was incredibly complicated. And so I just never had the time or energy to want to work on it. But here it's like, oh, I kind of feel like, you know, painting, sitting in Photoshop, doing a texture, right? So I don't have to use my brain as much. And then times when I do, I just need to make sure I'm in the mood for it, right? So I think picking something that is drastically different but also like equally accessible, or compelling at least. You know what I should be doing? I should be starting from the center, really, with all these little modules. Yeah, picking something that you know you can do in small chunks when you have the energy to do it, right? But also don't feel bad about the fact that, like, I feel terrible sometimes. I'm like, oh, I haven't worked on it, or I haven't done YouTube. I mean, part of the reason I want to do these streams is to feel less bad about all of the time that my work on Generation Exile is having. All of the time that is going to working on, you know, the full-time game. But that's just, you know, it's going to depend on what kind of person you are too. I think if you're doing that and you're juggling like a family and kids and like, I don't know, other obligations, you're going to have less time. Okay, this is actually not looking awful. I think I need to do a little bit more shading work, but from like a stone pattern kind of standpoint, I think we could pass this. I think this will pass for it, you know? We definitely have to make it seamless. Honestly, even if this doesn't work for the building, this being a paving piece for the ground, that'll be a nice change too. Hagerman Sam also says, well put, makes it hard to pick an appropriately scoped project. Yeah, well, yeah, I was hoping to have this project not be as big as it has been. I kind of knew going into it that I would be biting some more work off than I'd anticipated, but I was hoping that the level design, well, I mean, yeah, the art is the most consuming part of this project. It is just unfortunate that it takes a long time to do also, and that sucks, but I am enjoying it. Like, this is not something I spend my time doing most of the time because, you know, I'm usually hired as a programmer, so I get to toy around and make stone textures in Photoshop, which isn't part of my daily task list unless something's gone horribly wrong. So just sort of being able to build new skills and learn new things as well is compelling. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping that I would have this project done sooner than this. I fully was not expecting to be spending this long on it. How do you delete? Is there a shortcut to deleting a point, an anchor point? Well, I guess you just right click it. It's nice with this project though, getting kind of immediate feedback, right? Like something goes in the game and I can play it, and I think just the format of this style of game has meant that the jump from sort of prototype, because I was, you know, I built all of the mechanics first basically, and I focused on like just toying around with that aspect of it, that it's kind of very additive in nature. So, you know, even doing some of this art and stuff, like getting that feedback almost immediately is really rewarding. We just have to copy a ton of these pieces. I mean, I could just copy this whole thing now, I think. I think there's enough of this to look a little bit. We can like just do this and shape this stuff into place. Oops. Oh. Oh, you're not gonna let me grab those pieces. Okay, can I just... I hate Photoshop sometimes. I really do. It behaves inconsistently. those, and then click in the, and then I can't have to click in the center of this one, and then click free transform path. Okay. Yeah, because why would I want to select something on the edge of the screen that I can't see and do the same thing that... Oh, that's so annoying. I have to click inside the canvas. That's really stupid. But no, put a bunch of money into AI because that's better than improving your product. Control J. That's the... Okay. For deleting an anchor point. Well, that seems to just cut it. We should actually merge these shapes. Okay, we're getting there. That's honestly not looking bad. Let's... Actually looks like having this all come from the same place might be better. Oops. The fourth one's unnecessary. They need to actually block each other out, so they need to be like actually baked colors for this to work. I think the opacity thing doesn't work the way that I want it to. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, it's because you can multiply. That's why. Don't want to multiply. Normal. Okay. Slightly darker. And then slightly darker than that. Right, okay, so it's that way around. Okay, so this should be right. And then we should have a black stroke. There we go. I think that's closer to what we want. Probably less on that first layer. It actually doesn't look too bad. It depends how we want that to look. So I could probably toy around with this forever, to be honest. Okay. And I probably will end up playing with this a bit more as I continue to work on this. something like that. Or maybe. What does that noise do? Oh. Huh. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, like at a glance, zoomed out, that looks pretty good, I think. That'll do. Alright, let's finish this off. I think it's just a case of getting in the last few shapes, and then it's going to be a case of making those work together a little bit better. I want to make sure there's like some nice smaller pieces. But that is part of it too. Like you gotta have bigger ones, I guess, so that the smaller ones can make sense. Oops. I don't know how I feel about just having a circular one. It feels too clean, you know? Okay. That's, you know what? That is not bad. Come on. That's pretty good. That hasn't taken too long. And, like, it's a pretty decent cartoon texture, right? Like, I think this will be possible. Okay. Well, that was not going in the correct layer. Because for every time I select it, it reverts itself. Because of course it does. I love Adobe, guys. I love them. Best company in the world. Why? I just changed the pen type. one in there. I also might make the... Oops. That isn't terrible. Honestly, the baseline for most of what I do isn't terrible. Okay, just fill this. Oh, no, damn. Okay, enter, not escape. Okay. Seems like we're basically there. Making it look random would be the hardest part for me. I mean, yeah, one of the ways to make it look random is to just do it randomly. Which is kind of what I'm doing. So, there's like a structured, ordered random, right? Like, I don't know. I think if you were doing this for real, you would kind of just be stacking any rocks on top of rocks that would fit each other. So, again, thankfully the aesthetic of this game, I think going for a cartoony thing, it was intentional, right? Is it's like, okay, well, you don't have to nail it. It just has to look not wrong. So, you know, I think like that looks like rocks. Zoomed out. So, oops. I think it's just a case of like toying with it until it looks even less wrong. I think really it's just a case of finishing these little holes now. And then, god damn it. Look, Photoshop, I have consistently had that set to combine shapes. Do not change it back. I will decide to change it back. What's going on with these anchor points? Oh. Okay. I just remember to put it into combined shapes now. Fool me once. I think this is probably enough because I think I have to do some like offsetting and stuff to get this to look right for like seamlessness. I think actually what I could just do is just copy some of these guys. Okay. What happens if we set the stroke to like 1 point smaller? Maybe 10. 5. No, that's too small. 8. I think that's better. It was a bit too much before. 10. I think 10 is right. Okay. That rock will kind of fit there. Okay. I think that's good. I think that'll pass. If we do anything else, we'll save this. Oop. Don't like this bit, it's too similar. I think we could bring that in. Put a new... something like that. Like the little details do matter here. Just adds a little bit more depth to it. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna toy around with this too much more. I think this is fine. So let's do the stones underscore base. Let's duplicate this. Turn off the base one, lock it. And then I think what we have to do is, if I recall how to make something, we will, let's rasticize the layer. And then we basically make I should make 4 copies of it, if I recall. And put the 4 corners in the edges, I think. Oh, you know what we have to do though? Crop this one. This has to be exactly correct. So what I'll do is I'll put this in a, copy the style and paste the style in the group. And then we can grab this. There we go. I think that's essentially how you make something seamless, quote unquote, and then you have to deal with the middle. So this is probably where we get the brush tool and we just fuck around. Make it the pencil actually. Oh, okay. Big rock. Maybe I can just merge all of this for now, and then I'll clean it up in a minute. Stuff in the center doesn't matter as much. That should now tile, I think. So if I duplicate the group, turn that group off, merge this group, and then grab this. Does it tile? Yes, it does. But does it tile in the other direction? Yes, it does. Good. Okay. Perfect. So we can now clean up. Let's duplicate again. Oh. This guy's not in here? I was in isolation mode, that's why. Okay, so we duplicate this group. And then we will actually merge all of these. So now I can erase some of the bits in the middle, clean it up a little bit. This technique is probably useful for when I want to do the this subtraction with the paintbrush. Actually, is probably pretty good when we do the brick tiles, because that'll give them the sort of waviness that we want. Okay, I just want to clean up a few more. Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty decent. Actually. It's got a big gap here. Maybe just cleaning this up is fine. Maybe join this up and split it up a little bit better. That's not bad. Alright, I think I might leave it there. Let's just fix this edge. But sure, as long as you don't mess up any of the sort of inlet pieces, you can then kind of just go to town on the spots over here. I think that's pretty good. Actually. Alright, so if we save this and then we export it, we should now have a seamless texture. So I think the only thing I want to do is change the color so that we can tint it. So I think we just cheat and use a color overlay for that. Like we kind of want this to be white. And then a couple of shades off-white. And I've saved the other one, so... But I think this would let us tint it. With a cool thing is I can now sort of do different, I could make a few variations of this. So some of the buildings use different stone textures. Like 2 or 3 of these would look pretty good, I think. Okay, that's saved. So we go back into Blender now. Like, how does this look on an object, right? So we were using, we don't have the, we don't have a material yet. So let's do that. Duplicate this. Just out of interest. Let's figure out how this. Let's just use the normal stone one. Yeah. If we like actually UV map this. Oops. Cube project, yeah. Oh, look at that. Hey, that's cool. And we just like massively size it up. It is seamless. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Come on. That is not what we want. Like I want like stone. I basically just wasted this entire time. Because actually I want like a stone brick look. But this will fit with the aesthetic of this game. Which is pretty great. Cool. I mean, like, there's a few pieces, but it's fine. It tiles enough. I actually might be able to get this to work. We could make it more brick-like, I guess. But I mean, we have a technique, right? Like, there's a technique for it now. And making that work is pretty good. Okay. Massive side tangent we just went on there, didn't we? In general, I think these look pretty good, though. We should look at how this will look with an actual stone brick texture. So I will find one, and then I'll make a proper one at a later date. I think another one I want is like a grass version of this. In fact, actually, we could probably do that. I should duplicate these. Okay. Let me duplicate this again. Why? Why is there a copy SVG? That's version of this where the of course. Where this is a sort of dirt background, probably like a brown color. In fact, I could feed a lot of this into a shader, thinking about it. Like a future version of this would be to provide just the texture as transparent, and then the base could be a shader, so we could, you know, do a couple of different things. But like, yeah, putting that on a brown or on like a green gradient or something. That would look interesting. Oh. Yeah, that will work. Okay, that's good to know. Because I will want some of that. I want some like rocky, dirty kind of colors a bit later. So that's good. It's good to know that that kind of works. Cool. Yeah, and then we would also it would also be quite cool to do some cobblestone where these are like a few different colors. Because like I said, the general design is that like this this area that is already done is all sort of uptown, very concrete. See, sort of. Whereas as you kind of cross this threshold, especially over this direction, and as we go down here, I'll definitely want more textures and things. Because right now I just have my kind of grass, and to be honest, even that like rock texture thing would work here. I think like a grass, this sort of grassy rock thing, could work really nice there. So yeah, that's gonna come in handy. Okay, I'm gonna quickly see if I can get not a terrible representation of what I want on the on this wall. Find one that's actually gonna work. This is almost definitely AI generated, the one I've just found. I just found this on Crayon. I believe this is an AI tool. It is. But you know what? That will tell me what I need to know. So can I just download this? Sure. Who did this? Random person. It says attribution required. Well, who cares? Okay, wait, it's gonna just purely be placeholder. There's no other information. Okay. It's almost definitely not going to be seamless though. That's not going to look good. But it will let us know. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Does not tile whatsoever, but that is pretty much exactly the sort of texture that we want there. I think that'll look good. It has to look cartoonier than this, so same technique, I think. Getting that in there. Don't think I'm gonna do that right now, but that will look exactly. And then a cleaner version, like a rough version for the base that's kind of darker, and then a cleaner version, which, I mean, I could probably just use the existing brick texture that I've already got and just make it white. But yeah, this definitely for down here. So that's this like base layer, which we haven't done yet. So this one would actually be the cleaner version. But Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Alright. I'm now going to delete this because I don't like... that. Actually, let's just remove the texture for now. I mean, honestly, that stone could be the base layer. That's the little base facade. Just to mix it up a little bit, I think that would be quite cool. So, maybe we make that. Maybe we make the little base facade piece before we wrap up. I have a dog that needs to be walked and some dinner to make. So, but let's do that first. So I think it's kind of two components, right? Like it's like stick it out and then one with windows and then a door. Yeah, I gotta do versions of these with doors in them, but that's fine. Because I'll probably make the windows on these ones textures. Usually I don't. Oh, maybe I won't. I might. You know what? That's... Oh, that's not gonna work either. Okay. You know what? No, I'm gonna leave that like that. I'll deal with it later. Okay. Don't like doing it that way. This is going to be like the most ridiculous amount of work I've done for just why I picked such an elegant and complicated building. But that's fine. That's what we do. It's fun. I'm having fun. As long as we're having fun. Otherwise, what's the point? Honestly, that's probably fine. Maybe like another piece that just sits, extrudes itself out a little bit, and then has a bevel. Like this. And you just like bevel these edges. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Maybe bevel this edge. No. No, we put a beveled edge down there. That's what we need to do. To like duplicate what we just did. Yeah, there we go. Base 01. God damn it. I cannot type. And then duplicate it and do a version with a window in it. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work well. And like that's, you know, 2/3 of it, and then we put some columns and some pillars in, and figure out the edges. Right? Like we can now kind of, you can imagine this let's just make a version where this is the same building, right? Like you can imagine, oops, this with an array modifier. I honestly think I might design most of this in Blender rather than putting it into Unity. Maybe, actually, I don't know. Oops, not said. Right, like that. Yeah. It's probably actually like 1 and 1. I like that a lot. I think that's a good start. I think that's honestly a really good start on something that I had no idea how we were going to tackle. But like, I think we can see that, right? And then you can see where we go with this. It does most of it, right? And then we make a couple of other ones that are just using a different variation of windows. Just why I might use textures, because I don't have to change anything. I can just change the texture rather than the model. Probably gonna do a texture, but like, you know, out of those pieces that I've made already, if I just make a door, then that's most of this building, and then we just need to do a roof piece, right? And these little like column thing, like a variation that's sunken a bit more so the columns can go in. I don't even know if I'll do the columns, to be honest. They might be too much for this. I probably won't do them. I will probably do them here. I think I can work with that. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. It has been 3 hours of streaming, basically, just under that. So, thank you for joining me. This one was a little more chill, slower than usual, a bit more creative, let's say. But hopefully you enjoyed it. My general goal is to try and stream at least once or twice a month now, just while things are a little bit in flux with the channel. I still want to make sure I'm doing stuff, and like I said, I figure these streams will be somewhat informative to some of you, so yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you again in the next one.